You're Richard. On your own, you're referring to Sky, Richard.
I defer to him.
Sky is a big man. So,
Yes.
I think you issued a statement over the weekend and also spoke on UTV, but that was over the weekend. So now that it's Monday, what is your position on what happened at UTV on Saturday evening?
No, thank you very much. I think that our position today, or perhaps yesterday, today, and always, would be that the action that took place is not one that, as a party, we sanction because it's not consistent with our beliefs, and therefore we completely condemn the steps that were taken, perhaps to express legitimate concerns of some of our party people who breached the securities protocol of the station to barge into the station or the studio to want to express their dissatisfaction.
So
we remain opposed to that.
All right. So did you issue an apology to the media house?
Yes, we did. Actually, that same night I was there. We spoke off camera to address the issue and rendered apology to them that same night. And then the occasion was given to us to come on air and do so. And then subsequently, the letter we issued yesterday unreservedly apologized for the happening. And we stand by that.
Okay. So you denounced the invasion unreservedly, and then you distanced the NPP from the unacceptable act. So some people feel that beyond that, as a party, you need to take action against the party members who went to do that on your behalf.
Yes. So I think that our party structure would take a look at that. We have a fully fledged disciplinary committee that will take a look at that. That is a responsibility above my pay grade. But I'm pretty sure that as the conversation is going on and the matter has come to the party's attention, I'm sure that the disciplinary committee will take notice and act appropriately.
The other point is that in the GJA response to the issue, while they commend you for your swift apology and statement, they say they are disturbed that prior to the invasion, an officer of the NPP had written to the station complaining about some panel issues. Indeed, they say that in a letter dated September 19, signed by Director of Finance and Admin, William Yamua, the party essentially took issue with some aspects of the TV station's programming or editorial policy. As Director of Communications, was Mr. Yamua's letter sanctioned or known to you, this communication to the UTV people?
I came into knowledge of the letter after it's been issued, but apparently it was authorized from the office of the General Secretary. But then the content of the letter and the objective of the letter furthering the conversation with the media station was supposed to be a private conversation in the first place, directly to them, to take notice of certain concerns the party had, but then somehow became public after they had received it. It's in a state of us trying to engage with them to register some concerns we have with the output. But to your question, I came to the knowledge of it after it's issued.
Which will be unusual, because although you can't know everything happens in a party, because you are the Director of Communication to a media house in relation to a program content should be within the remit of the Director of Communications. I know a party can write to a media house and invite them to come and eat rice or whatever, but in relation to empaneling, it is a Director of Communications duty. So to the extent that you did not know about it until it was reported afterwards, it's problematic, is it not?
On one hand, you can say that. On the other, I would say that ours remains work in progress. We're working to build on what has happened, and I think that subsequently you wouldn't see any such issues happening. But I don't. But beyond that, I would say that yes, we take notes of how unusual that is. But then the content really represents the conversation we want to have. And also further, Bernard, just to clarify, the issue really, I think that it's a miscommunication, internal miscommunication that probably resulted in that. Because on one hand, what we were seeking to do, was to engage them personally, which we had, appointments to talk to them. So the letter just went ahead of the dialogue. So we were on the track. The communication directorate was engaging to have a sit down, but then the letter came.
But would I be mistaken, or anybody may be mistaken if they said that letter, which obviously subsequently was made public, emboldened the NPP members who went to do what they did on Saturday evening?
Well, that can be someone's rendition, but ours is not to say that really did so. It is for us to engage with them. In fact, that engagement is ongoing. The individuals who went there to do that, as we have indicated, that is an unsanctioned act, perhaps just did not have the patience and probably did not understand what the party was doing to address that issue. Because it wasn't a matter that we were going to come public to raise that we're engaging with this media house to address some concerns which they share with them to kind of fix the problem. So they were probably acting on the instinct that the party was under certain attack and therefore they wanted to act, even though that method of trying to address the problem was wrong. I guess that they were not aware of what the party is doing, hence their conduct.
So while I accept your point that the larger party has the remit to deal with these people who went to do this, I want to push back and say, because you're the director of communications and because this is such a high-profile TV station which has been invaded, you need to be seen to be encouraging punishment for these people because they are doing this in your name. Because when you go on UTV or you go on Peace FM tomorrow morning to speak, what those people did on Saturday evening was done for your party. And so whatever you say to me, I'm not going to listen because I'm going to see what they did on the TV screen. So you cannot say that punish. And so unless the party agrees with them, the party must show us that they condemn what they did beyond a statement. And the party must show that such behavior is unbecoming of an NPP official or member or sympathizer. So I am saying to you that you cannot say it's the party's job. You are the head of communication. You are the one in charge of the party's communication on the media. So if people have gone to a media house to disrupt a live program, there has to be action taken. For example, these guys cannot represent your party on any radio station ever because what they've gone to do there clearly, that's if you disagree with them, shows a different face of your party.
Yes, certainly, Bernard. If these individuals, if there were any communication person amongst them, that individual will not be deployed any longer so long as I remain the director of communication. Now, the aspect of discipline that is beyond my pay grade, what I can do per your urging would be to have draw the attention of the disciplinary committee to take a look at it through the general secretary. And that commitment exists. And if you see the statement we issued, we demonstrate or emphasize our commitment to ensuring that the police have full access to whatever information they need to be able to further their investigation to arrive at a certain finding that will give us all some full picture of what the motivation was, and if anything is found to have been done wrong, that the individuals are held accountable. So we have that commitment, and we have demonstrated that we stand by that. But the specific matter of internal discipline, that is something, we can prod the system to see it through the General Secretary's office, but it won't be something that we can enforce from the Communication Directorate.
Final point, if you look at the data regarding attacks against media, in my interview with the Information Minister, he pointed out 4 instances of attacks against journalists in their studio. January 2022, Radio Ada. May 2022, Radio Benya, Central Region. May 2023, Dagbon FM in the Northern Region. And then October 2023, UTV. This is under an NPP government. NPP has said they believe in development in freedom. Indeed, between January 2017 and end of 2018, 17 journalists had been attacked in Ghana. This is Media Foundation data. Again, Director of Communications of NPP, how come journalists cannot say they are safe under your tenure?
Well, I think, Bernard, the business of securing the freedoms and promoting the rights of the citizens to free speech and media freedom, these are work in progress. These are commitments that have to be renewed on a daily basis. And so these happenings are necessarily not evidence that that commitment is not present, but it's actually just a reminder for us that we must do more. And I can tell you that there isn't any shortage of commitments by this government to advance that. Your reference to the Minister for Information's letter and requesting actions to be taken in these instances that you have cited is evidence that the government itself has taken a certain position. The commitments of the government also to advancing the freedom of expression and of freedom of the media to do their work, Bernard, you would attest that is one that has been advanced by this government. You know, over a period of 20 years or more, you and your colleagues have been advancing the need to pass the Right to Information Act. It's been done now under this government. So there is a commitment. But what you see happening every so often is individual exuberance sometimes that leads to some of these happening. And what we need to focus on is that after those occurrences, what has been the government response? And you will agree with me that government has been swift and committed to ensuring that people who are going against the grain are punished and are dealt with appropriately. That must be our daily commitment. And as partners, we are interested in seeing that these things are prosecuted so that media freedom is not curtailed. And then you agree, and I think that your point about under NPP, the media should feel more freer and secure is a testament to the belief in our value and the clear position of the party to want to advance the media freedom. And we have demonstrated that amply over the years. And I think that what we need is to continue to strengthen our commitment and to work together to ensure that people who go out on the fringes to conduct or commit this act against the media are dealt with.
All right.
And we must collaborate to achieve that end.
Richard Ahiagba, based on Sky's advice, that's the tone I'll use now. Richard Ahiagba, thank you for talking to us. We'll be looking forward to hearing from you again as the matter develops.
Thank you, Bernard.
So that was Richard Ahiagba.
So
now Sky is telling